Alright, how is everybody doing? So, you'll notice we're not in the game right now. That's because I accidentally deleted something when I had it up before, so I can't touch anything while this is loading. So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to watch the loading screen mod here do its thing. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if everything's looking okay. I believe I got my NVIDIA broadcast settings working properly. I did a little tweaking in between the last live stream and this one, and I think that should be working okay now. Good thing is, despite this crazy save file, this load will only take about 3 minutes. That's what I've been seeing recently. I used to have load times that were like more in the 5 to 6 minute range, but I found a fix. It's actually the ploppable asphalt mod that I use, but somebody made a fix where you combine the two together and you like cut your loading time down in half. So this will do its thing. Another one of my little tricks, you'll see have like a lot of missing assets. That's actually intentional. I find a lot of assets have like little props built in that I don't really need or use. And this lets me just kind of like not load them. And then it saves me, you know, a few megabytes in RAM and lets this all work right. Why don't I stream more often? I'm just really busy, honestly. It is something I'd like to do more going forward, but at this point, I'm not even getting out regular videos quickly enough. But this is certainly a good option when I can't get a video done, and I still do want to show you that there is some progress and the channel's you know, sticking around for sure. Hey Alex, how you doing? Yeah, so it's just tough. I have a pretty busy job. I don't work like crazy hours, but you know, I am working 45, 50 hours a week. It's busy, it's stressful, so a lot of times, you know, I don't get done with work and dinner and decompressing until 7, 8 o'clock at night. And I don't always want to then sit down and like, you know, record audio or record video. I am pretty close. I'm probably a couple of videos, so my hope is that I can maybe get like, you know, have a month where I get like, you know, 2 or 3 videos out in a month, you know, a little bit more than my usual pace. I'm also going to be experimenting with some new genres, some new tweaks and whatever to how I do things. I've had a lot of really good positive feedback about the more historical storytelling parts of my videos. And I've noticed a lot in my YouTube analytics that, you know, in the parts of the videos where I finish doing that is when my viewership really cuts out. So I think what's happening is that while there are a lot of people who love the city skylines portion of this and want to see a lot of that, there's probably more people that just want to see interesting crap about New York and have me tell a little bit of the story. So I'm going to try to do a few videos that are like that, which might be shorter and may also allow me to get things out a little bit more quickly. But, you know, trying to make that transition in the middle of a channel where I'm also, again, just very busy. I just haven't been able to get done what I wanted to, and there we go. There's the scribbly line. You see the scribbly lines, you know you're about to get the game loaded up. Having a big glass of whiskey with it as well. No, I'm just kidding. It's iced tea, unsweetened. Alright, so let me just get this map set up for you real quick. So here's what I have to do when I start like this. I got to Shift-Enter to close it, Shift-Enter to get it back up, Shift-V to unlock, and then I have to cycle Shift-R through until I find the right overlay. It's there. Lock it again, close it out. And then I'll load up the color settings. And we're in the game. Drop the map on Steam. So this map is on Steam actually, but not with anything filled in. Just like the bare New York map is in the Steam Workshop. It's under my Steam name. It's Web250, WEB250. It's in the descriptions of some of my videos. You could probably find it. Shouldn't be that difficult. In terms of the whole map, though, I will eventually release the whole map. I think what I will do is, at one point, I will, like, once I get, like, most of the streets filled in that I want to use, and a lot of the highways done, I will, like, open it up, move it to, like, delete all the buildings, and then, like, put a like road map, like with all the roads filled in onto the workshop. But that's gonna be a while because I'm not there yet. These are also things that I might like. I've had people asking me before, like, "Oh, will you do a Patreon?" And like, not yet, not now, because again, I don't put out enough content in the first place to then be putting out more content for people that might be graciously paying money. So eventually down the line, though, it might be something that I do, and that's where I'd probably be more willing to give save files out, to put more maps out, more assets out, whatever people want to see. Yeah, so I don't know. That's a good question, CTF, because I used to use the population mod in the past, and it really kept it kind of under control. And this build is like really creeping up. We're already at 130,000 people, and like, I don't know, we have a lot to fill in still. I feel like I wasn't at this pop the last time this quickly. And I'm getting a little worried because I know around 250 is where it's likely to start really lagging and giving me problems. But it might be something I investigate in the future. Maybe do a separate save file and twiddle around with that a little bit. But for right now, it's actually working okay. You'll see, I don't know if you guys can see the FPS counter on the top of the screen, because that's like a Steam overlay. I don't think OBS picks that up. But I'm at like 15, 20 FPS, depending on what I'm looking at, depending if it's moving or not. But let me go into first person mode here and show you some of Williamsburg while I'll take a look at chat. Hey, Farmer Boy, thank you, man. Appreciate that. When will there be Times Square? Soon. I really need to get around to that. There's 2 videos that are going to happen before that, at the very least. So I've been working on Williamsburg, which I'll just like preview here today because, again, I really want to tell the history of it. And I won't get into that now. We'll just talk city skyline stuff. So I've started building out basically like North Williamsburg, like the part north of the bridge. I do have the L train now built in over here, which is actually working really well. I wanted to use these urban metros, which I like pre-built to work on the G a little bit, but I don't think these are working because it wasn't working on the L train, and then I rebuilt it with a regular New York subway station, and now it's working. Another thing that I found pretty interesting is I've been playing around a lot more with the Metro Overhaul mod, and you can actually like shift the stations over. And then, for a station like this is the Metropolitan Ave Lorimer Ave station. So it's Lorimer on the L and Metropolitan on the G that are connected. And this is just one station. You can like really move them from each other. Now, I haven't connected the G train yet, so I don't know if it's going to work. I'm hoping it does, because if it does, oh man, this opens up so many possibilities to make like really nice looking metro stations in the game that really make the network look more accurate. The Upper West Side is not going to be really in this map. I might eventually do a little bit of this area, like west of, this is like 65th Street. But that'll be about it. This whole area has not been seen in the video yet. I've previewed it a couple of times, and I'll do it again here. This is going to be like a really, like, a big episode about Billionaires Row and the shadows they cast on the park and pros and cons of these buildings. I've been writing it. This is going to be a fully scripted episode, and again, I just, like, when I have had time to play recently, I've, like, just been building Williamsburg. I haven't edited video in like 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm definitely behind, but work is still progressing. No Central Park. There will be a little bit of Central Park, so like this lower proportion will happen. I might extend it further at some point, but honestly, I'd rather spend my time doing other parks. So I do want to do, you know, Madison Square Park and, sorry, no, that's Union Square. This is Madison Square. I want to do Washington Square Park. I want to do McCarran Park in Williamsburg. So there will be a lot of other parks done, but not maybe a ton of Central Park because I don't want to go too far uptown. I really want to I want to put more effort into like Brooklyn and Queens and finishing off Manhattan, like at least below 23rd or whatever, something like that. I hate those skyscrapers so much. I won't give my opinions too much. I want to save that for the video, but I don't really think they're that bad. I mean, I think they deserve some hate, don't get me wrong, but it really marvels me, though. Like, when they built this building, this is 157. This is, like, just over 1,000 feet. So it is a super tall. But you compare it to the Central Park Tower and 111 West 57th, and it looks tiny compared to them. But this is taller than, like, most buildings in, like, every state. Except for, like, you know, I don't know, the only other super talls in California and in Chicago. Like, is that it? I might be missing one. I'm probably missing one. But like just on this one street alone, there are bigger buildings. Hey, Savion, nobody is late. Everyone is right on time when they need to be. Yeah, I kind of like the Time Warner Center. You know, it makes good use of the block. And I like that you still get, you know, that you can still get that Manhattan henge through the middle of it. But I really do want to make that video because I really love how Columbus Circle came out here. Yes, Cooper will definitely look at the subway pretty soon. It's definitely something that I wanted to talk about today. Because that's another video that'll be coming up, but I've been working on in the background on it. So yeah, I did a fair amount of detailing around here. I just really like the way that this came out. I didn't actually put a Columbus statue up because, like, fuck Christopher Columbus, but, you know, still put a statue in there. All right, let's look at the subway a little bit. Yeah, I definitely wanted to do that. So let me pause the simulation real quick. Whoa, no, that's not what I wanted. There we go. All right, so one thing, and I'll start up here, is this is where the 1 and the 2-3 trains end in the game. So in real life, the 59th Street Columbus Circle station only has the 1 train. The 2-3 continues express to 72nd Street. But because I don't have that built out yet, I needed to just hack it in here. So the 2-3 finishes up here, but I built this loop out to prevent the 1 train from bunching up. Because what will end up happening a lot with the way the Metro Overhaul mod works and the way that the game works is these will get really bunched up, and then the trains will just stop working, and then the whole line will get deserted. Like, all the people will leave. They'll be waiting for too long. So I built this quick little loop just to keep it running, just functionality. I'll change it again in the future. Houston? Does Houston have a super tall? That could definitely be true. It is a big, big city. All right, so in the past, in videos, we built the 1, 2, 3. We built the 4, 5, 6. So you know that exists there. One thing that I built in the last couple episodes is to extend the 7 train. So the 7 train now goes from Hudson Yards to Times Square, 5th Avenue, Grand Central, but now continues on into Long Island City to the Vernon Jackson Boulevard station. Oh, sorry, which is here. And then the Hunters Point station, which is here. The next part of this line is the elevated section. So elevated at Court Square, and then it turns, combines with the NW at Queensboro Plaza, and then continues into Jackson Heights, Sunnyside first, then Jackson Heights. I definitely would like to build that because I'd love to make a really nice Queens Boulevard line. Sorry. Sort of confusing when to do that. So the Queens Boulevard line is like the EFMR, but the 7 runs along Queens Boulevard through Sunnyside, and then goes on to Roosevelt Avenue, and then into Jackson Heights and Flushing. But I definitely want to work on that eventually. Making that connection to Queensboro Plaza is a lot of fun. In the game, there's no stacked stations, but I'll do it like side by side. It's close enough. But a lot of that work really requires me to put in the 59th Street Bridge, which is like here. And that's a lot of work. So probably the 7 train first. But before that, there's a bunch of others that we've built. Yeah, Coop, it really should be. Would probably be really expensive to make that work. Kind of similar to how, you know, 59th Street works here on the, where the 456 interacts with the NRW. Like, this originally was not an express station, and they added it in at a later date. But if you've ever been to this station, the escalators to get down from the local platform to the express platform are terrifying. They're like really narrow, they're really steep, and because like there's the countdown clocks, people will often be rushing, like running down 50 or 60 stairs to try to make their train, and I've almost fallen down them, and like you'd get really badly hurt if you fell down those stairs. I don't know if you'd die, but you probably could die. Am I gonna build Sunset Park or Rego Park? Rego Park is probably too far out. Let me take a quick look on my map over here. Because you can kind of see some of these outlines in the map. So like this outline here, that's just like the loop around Sunnyside Yard. This is like the train that loops down. So Rego Park would be... Rego Park would be like over here, like basically off the map. So no Rego Park. Like this area right here, like this is like Elmhurst. Yeah, I guess Rego Park could be like somewhere around here, but I try not to get too close to the edges of the map. The game tends to get a little funky like that. And the other one you said was Sunset Park. Yeah, that's like way too far south. So like this is Red Hook. This is Red Hook right here. And Sunset Park would be all the way down here, right at the edge of the map again. Yeah, Robert, California. We'll talk about the Steam Workshop in a second because I have some new assets to show off. Let me finish up talking about the subways though, because I have a few more things to show. So I did do a little bit more work in downtown Brooklyn. This is the York Street F and this is the J Street stop. And I built, they don't look quite like this in real life, but there is a separation here where the A and C trains, which will eventually connect down here to the High Street station, and then are grade separated. They use the inner tracks and the F uses the outer tracks here at J Street. And then these will connect further down. The real critical station that I'll have to build eventually somewhere around here is the Barclays Center station, because that's where like everything interacts. And then south of that, I can build a depot and start sending BMT lettered trains up through this network. And that's going to be a big episode at some point. But I want to like do the rest of the roads around here. I'm doing less and less roads in episodes. And then what else? What else? Oh, and I built the Christie Street connection, which again is much cleaner than this in real life, but I wanted to follow kind of like as close to the track geometry as I could while using, you know, the best angles that you can in city skylines. So this is the connection, and I spoke about it in a previous episode, that lets M trains, these yellow trains, orange colored trains, coming off of the Williamsburg Bridge to first stop at the Delancey Street Essex station and then branch off to connect to the Bleecker Street Broadway station. Sorry, Broadway Lafayette station. Oof, I had too much to drink last night. The brain's a little cloudier than usual. But what this connection allows is two things. So it will allow, and I built the edge of the subway connection off the Manhattan Bridge, which we did in a previous episode. If you haven't seen the Manhattan Bridge episode yet, save for later, watch later, whatever, because you're going to want to check that out. But it will let the B and D trains hit Grand Street Station and then get into here. And then the F train, which again we built, I haven't like run the line yet, but the trains are built, will go to the East Broadway station, to Delancey Essex, then to 2nd Avenue, and then here. So a lot of the legwork in advance for the BMT has been done in Manhattan, but I haven't done a lot of the work in Brooklyn. Because once you get to here, I mean, I can run this straight up 6th Avenue. So this eventually curves around this way. There's a big station at West 4th, right by Washington Square Park. And then this will get sent uptown pretty easily. But a lot of the work needs to happen here first. Oh, hey, yeah, hey, Geronimo, what's going on, man? Yeah, so the reason why I had to reboot my save right when the stream was starting is because I was trying to delete the pillars of the bridge here, and I accidentally deleted, like, the entire half of the bridge. And I was like, no, I can't be on stream right now and not have the bridge looking good, so we'll ignore that the pillars are there right now. I'm not going to try to mess with them right now. But I haven't run anything else since that stream, so the main, I'll get the simulation running here. The main roadways, the center roadway and the outer roadways are both working. And I haven't laid out the pedestrian or the cycle paths or any of the subways yet. Just that very, very end of the subway down here, which I was actually able to hide in pretty nicely. Like, I don't know if this angle will actually work when I go to run the line, but I think this looks pretty okay. And I'll eventually be able to extend this over, but that's something I'll do off camera at some point whenever I have the chance. Yeah, the fresh pond yard would be good. I gotta look. I definitely want to try to put a couple of yards in a couple of places that make sense. I'm gonna put one of the yards like I did in my last build. That'll end up running like probably the 7 and some of the Queens trains. I'll put that in the Sunnyside yard, like at the edge. I think it's actually like a LIRR depot, but I'll make it like stand in for an MTA depot here, just because it'll look nice. It'll make sense. Yeah, you know, you don't think this is gonna work, huh? Ah, we'll see. Hello from St. Petersburg. It's really far away. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this looks so far. I definitely need to make some tweaks. I need to get rid of some of these lamps, kind of sticking through here. But what else do people want to see? Oh, hey, what's going on from Indonesia? Yeah, how many hours have I spent on this? Like, I don't know, like way too many. This save already is probably in the 60 to 70 hour range. On my previous New York builds, I had done like 200 hours a pop. Yeah. I have like 13 or 1400 hours in the game in total. And I'd say half of that is on New York builds, would be a reasonable guess. Obviously, I spent a lot of hours on my East Yorkshire build, which was my previous series, which, if you like my City Skylines content, check it out. But I've also done a lot of other saves. Like, I don't do a lot of copycats like this. I did a decent Chicago copycat once. I don't have that save anymore, though. But sometimes I'll just, like, you know, load a random save and just, like, build something and just practice and mess around. And, you know, that can be just as fun as doing anything else. How is it in Florida? Who's in Florida? Don't be in Florida. I'm not in Florida. I'm in New York City right now. As I almost always am. Oh, thanks, Kai. Oh, does somebody think St. Petersburg, Florida? No. Based on the Cyrillic in that handle, I'm assuming they're in St. Petersburg, Russia. What else do people want to see? Oh, some people wanted to talk about some of the new buildings that I have. So I'm going to take a look. So there's a user, and I should probably like look up his name real quick, or their name. I shouldn't assume their gender. Because they just released a new pack this morning. And I just downloaded. So the user is N2J, N the number 2J. And they've done a lot of like assets of like buildings that like never really existed, like proposed buildings that never got built. But they've put together a couple of like New York corner packs that are like really heavily optimized for loading screen mod. And I've used a few of them already. We're getting a little bit laggy down here, huh? So so this building, the New York Times building, had already been there. But I used their buildings right here to lock together some like classic New York old school looking buildings and build some corners with them. So I think they look really nice. And then this tall building right here, this is one of Smiley's condo buildings that I actually just PO'd to make the right height. So when I looked on Google Maps, I saw that this building here is basically like up to roughly that height against the Woolworth building. That looks pretty cool, right? Like, can we get the One World Trade in there too? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so NTJ built these buildings out, and then they just released some new ones as well. Oop, what am I going here? Let's see. So let me get out of this like really dense area so you'll get some better frame rates. Let's go back to Williamsburg. I'm not going to keep these buildings here, but I will show you what I have. Let's Maybe if I just go for corner, yeah, they're all gonna show up here. So the new ones are these white ones. Oh, you know where these are gonna be really, really helpful? Along Broadway in Midtown. It's going to be huge for me. I've never had buildings like this before. These are really nice. Are these all residential too? Yeah, okay. Well, let me not let these populate. What else? Oh, this one even has like some shit on the roof. That's great. Oh, that one looks really nice. Should we build out some of Broadway? What do you? I always want to build a little something. Oh, there's so many of them. Oh, hell yeah. Yo, N2J crushing it. This community in general is always crushing it. Oh man, yeah, Mr. Bra, I kind of like that idea. Like, I definitely, when I get the full subway network built out, I want to do some episodes that are like, what if we de-interline the system, or what if we got rid of some of the reverse branching? I don't know if I'll get into like parts of the subway that could let me show that properly, but that could be a little bit of fun. No, Tagar, these are off the workshop, so these are actually just been posted. The user is N2J. Savion just wrote their name in chat, so yeah, go check their stuff out. It's a lot of really nice assets. Yeah, let's take a look along Broadway. Maybe I can like fill in something more around here, like up by the Empire State Building. Yeah, you know, the right assets can like give you that idea for an area that just makes you want to get back into the game. I've been there. Like, every time a new building gets built for like this save, I immediately want to get back into the game again. All right, so I'm gonna be off camera a lot here. You know, working on some buildings, but okay, here's one right here. So on this, oh wait, is that? All right, because like I want to get right here is like a plaza, but I want to fill this in with like corner buildings. Let's see if we can find some of those buildings that work. But like I need like an open kind of wide building like this, I guess. Yeah. That's maybe not exactly what I want. There's like so many of these, I gotta like look through them a little bit, you know? That angle looks better, that height looks better, so let's do that. And then I don't know about this one. This one's at like a bit of a different angle next to it. But it should be about the same height. Maybe a little bit shorter. This is the attention to detail I go for in these builds, you know? Oh yeah, perfect. Oh, I see how that works. Okay, yeah. Let me just move these a little bit over. And then it looks like there's a little bit of like greenery on the corner, so I'll drop in some plants. And then I'll just fill the rest of this in with concrete. And the cool thing is, like, once you get a block started like this, then I'm on a roll. Like, then I'm just gonna like finish this rest of this block. So, I guess there's still a weird angle here, but I think I'm just gonna like sneak the buildings in there. Yeah, let me go for like a 2x3, and I'll just like layer them in a little bit. I think that'll work. That'll look just fine. But these should be like, I'm gonna make these commercial if I can. Yeah, that works. And then right next to this is something that's hard to tell in Manhattan when I'm looking at the map. Like, what is an apartment building, and what is like an office building? It can be really hard to tell. And I keep clicking on this building, and it keeps just bringing up the Chinese restaurant sign. I'm like, no. Okay, this looks like an office building here. So let's do like a 4x3 office building if I can find one. Oh yeah, this would probably work. Okay, let me take this building here, but I'm gonna grow it with PO. I always resisted against PO, and now I'm like, I want to use it all the time. All right. So I always like, how do I gotta go to move it. I don't know if this is like the right way to do it, but this is like how I always do it now. Edit. Let's scale it up. And this building kind of aligns like just like a little bit above the final wedding cake here of the Empire State Building. Yeah, like that. I like that I can do that. It's great. I'm going to check back the chat again. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you guys. Are they recolorable? Let's see. Yeah. They are. Because those buildings in real life are... No, they're actually both on the whiter side, so I'll leave them like that. Alright, and then... Now the fun begins. I really like... Actually, wait, I need to look at more chat. For buildings that are like under construction, if I used to like build out some construction sites, and I might do that in a couple of spots, like if I'm going for like a heavily detailed area. But for the most part, nah, I'm just gonna like fill in what either I know to be there or what I think might look good there, just to keep things cohesive looking. Oh, to make the island longer? Yeah, there's some like cool YouTube videos out there about that. So what he's talking about is a plan to like extend Manhattan Island down to like connect with Governor's Island, and like build all kinds of housing. But like, first of all, it would never happen. Like the rich people who live down there would never like want you to like just take away all their waterfront views. Plus, like, it would cost so much money to build that land out. You'd be better off like spending the money to build out places that we haven't built out yet here. Like there's so many parts of Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens that could be upzoned, or parts of boroughs that could have much more housing built, but they need a train line. So I think money would be better spent elsewhere, outside of what would eventually basically just be a land grab for developers. We can do better than that, New York. You know it and I know it. Come on, get in there. There we go. I don't feel like moving all of those. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Yeah, I gotta show you a few other buildings that I've put in too recently. I went through some of my old assets and found some more stuff that worked. So in particular, I now have a 1x4 residential building, which really helps. With the, you know, the fire escapes out front, which I think looks really nice. I have a bunch more 1x3 apartment buildings, which I think look really nice. Also with the out front with the fire escapes, those things, and then I have more of them. This is how all the ones that I used to have, all the slight variations. I don't have any of the signs downloaded because I feel like they get really repetitive. But being able to put more buildings down that have fire escapes is going to make this build look a lot nicer. I'm going to delete one of those, and I'm just going to try to find something that's closer to what's in the real build here. Yeah, that'll work. I've also kind of pulled away a little bit from really getting too exact in my builds. Like I'm trying to take like quick glances at things and then just go, oh, you know, I know something that'll work there, and just like building. I really am trying to just like build more quickly. Because it's hard. There's a lot to do here. It's just too much, honestly. It's a really big endeavor. Like, New York's a big freaking city. And I want to do so much more this time than I've done in the past. Whatever, I'm just sticking that in there. Like, you're never gonna see it. You're never gonna see it. I'm never gonna see it again. So it's all good. Feel free to throw some more questions in there. Let me know exactly what you're looking to see in chat. I'm happy to zoom back around the map after this and you know, get into some more areas. Once I'm looking at the screen again. And then let me do this as a 3, and then I'll do 4s around the back. Yeah, that's good. No, one of these maybe? No, what did I do? Oh man, no, those don't work. This one maybe? Is that too big? I don't care, it looks nice. Oh, actually, maybe if I do that and I move all of these over, I can fit one more in there. Yeah, that'll work. Trying to build a lot more office buildings right now because the orange bar has been high for like weeks. I just have not been building enough of what I need to get it to come down, and you know, we're trying here. Fill in the docks, yeah, definitely. I definitely need to do more keying in. I did key in a few more areas. I'll show that off in a little bit. Oh, thanks, Tonight. Appreciate that. I don't have any of those fictional buildings loaded in right now. But maybe something I can do in the future. Maybe do a video about buildings that never were and where they might have been, or buildings that used to be. I'd love to do a video about the Singer building, which, you know, is on the workshop, but no longer exists in New York. At one point was the largest building ever intentionally demolished. So New York is home to both the largest building ever intentionally demolished and the largest buildings ever unintentionally, both intentionally and unintentionally demolished. Oh crap, there's no connection here. Oh, can't I fix that with network multi-tool? I don't know. I'll fix that later, whatever. Whatever, man. Singer building, yeah, it's so pretty. If you guys don't know what the Singer building is, like, go look it up. Google it for yourselves. Do yourselves a favor. Oh man, it's so hard to work in these areas alongside the tall buildings. It just obstructs your entire view. Do I have anything that's like really long? Ooh. Oh yeah, I think this is a building that I just downloaded actually. I'm gonna use this. Oh, it's a corner building? That's okay. I'll do a little replacing here. I like this better. And then I'll just copy that. Boom. Okay, but now I need... That's too big. It's like I don't have just the right things that I need sometimes. Note to self, find more 2x3 buildings in the workshop. It's a nice size, but not always the easiest to find. Okay, let's put those there. And then the rest of these buildings, I think, are also just like a big group building. But now I have more room, I can probably put a 4x4 in. Or a bigger building? Yes, like that. Too big? Nah, it's good. I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I want to be done with this block. I'm sick and tired of this block. Good enough for me. And so yeah, you know, up close sometimes you're like, oh, why you, you know, but like again, perfect and good, right? I was told that was somebody else's phrase and I can't use it, so I'm retracting all uses of that phrase. Yeah, I know there's no connection there. Let me fix that now. It is still working though, or maybe, well, at least cutting through. Oh, another thing that people have been like begging me for. I started using a lot more of the urban roads. So, let's go over to, let's get the simulation running again. Let's go into free view mode. You'll notice, where is it? I didn't convert everything over yet. I haven't used the Bob tool yet, but I built a lot of this out, and you can see I started using this USA road and a few others. I was working on Williamsburg just the other day. Or no, I was working up here in Long Island City, and I built these out with all new roads, for the most part. This area down here, these are all the US big urban roads, which I really do like the ones that come in, you know, a regular 2-lane road. I like the yellow stripe down the middle, but I don't think the 2-lane one-ways look that much better than the other ones do, than the vanilla ones do. But these definitely look great. And I like having them interact with these roads from the workshop. I think they look really cool. Oh yeah, it's Move It. Move It is like that's an S tier City Skylines mod. Even if you're not a big player, like if you are playing on Steam, you are playing on PC, like get Move It. It's not gonna really break anything. It will only add to your experience, and it's like that first step where you can go from like building decently vanilla and like doing a lot better building with even just that mod without all the graphical mods on, without, I mean, you can look at my mod list, like it's very long. Like I have a lot of mods loaded. I even have a mod to make my mods be listed in alphabetical order. If you want my full mod list, there is a workshop collection for that. Let me save real quick because I'm gonna forget my 90th save file for this game. Our 6-lane avenue is a bit too much. So, yes and no. In some places, honestly, if you look at like this, so this is second, this is third, this is second and First Avenue. Let's look down here. So for something like First Avenue, I built this out. This is a custom road that I took a 6-lane avenue and made it 4 lanes for cars, 1 for buses, 2 parking, and then a buffered bike lane. Pretty accurate to how this avenue would look like in real life in New York. But for a lot of other avenues, I didn't do that. I just left them as... Sorry, 3rd Avenue is bi-directional up until like 25th Street or something like that. It looks like a lot. It really isn't. Unfortunately, like New York, some of the New York avenues are like, you know, they're stroads. Like they're ridiculous. Like they're trying to be highways and local streets at the same time, and it doesn't work. That's why sometimes I like a street more like Lexington, where it's a little bit narrower because it was hacked into the street grid. So this is a road from the workshop as well, and it's a little bit narrower, just a little bit. Same thing with Park. Park I think sucks. It has parking on both sides and 2 lanes of traffic. The Park down the middle used to be like a whole nother lane wide, and then at some point they cut it back to make more room for cars because, you know, screw the people that live here, right? Yeah, I know it sounds like a lot, and it might actually be a lot, but it's like, I don't think it's an exaggeration. I'm looking off the map right now at like, particularly some of like the western avenues. Like here, I'm looking at 10th Avenue between 22nd and 23rd, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is like 4 lanes of no, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 5 lanes of traffic and parking on both sides. the 6-lane roads in the game don't have parking. So, or they do, I don't know. Could there be better roads I could use? Probably, but there's always been a balance in this build between, do the road assets matter or do the building assets matter? And in my opinion, getting more buildings matters more. And I've only been adding more over the last few weeks, so it's been worth it. Oh, hello from Manhattan as well. Neighbor. Neighbor with all 1.5 million of us or so. It's very weird. For any of you who haven't visited New York before, it's very weird living in Manhattan to think like you're on an island, first of all. And even because there's so many buildings and you can't often see the water, you don't feel like you're on an island, but you are. And you're on an island with 1 million other people. Like 1.5 million or so. It's freaking crazy. Anybody out there planning on visiting New York this summer? I know now that we're like in a somewhat post-COVID world. I'm seeing so many more tourists. I get a lot of tourists in my neighborhood on the Upper East Side because like all the big museums are up there. Not all of them, but you know, you have the Met, you have the Guggenheim. There's a lot of good restaurants and bars, and I've seen more and more people filter into my part of the neighborhood too. It is really nuts, right? It does, despite New York's problems, it still does feel like a privilege to live here. Yeah. It's wild that like Manhattan is an island, and then like Brooklyn and Queens are technically islands, or on an island. The Bronx is the only borough. The Bronx is just off the map here. The only borough that is fully connected to the U.S. mainland. Oh yeah, Kai, you should go to college in New York. It's like stupid expensive to go to college in America, full stop, and then even more so in New York. But you do get a great experience. I have family that have been to NYU. I work with a lot of people that have been to FIT, city colleges, CUNYs, whatever. It's all good stuff. Like you can get a really good education here. Columbia, of course, is uptown. Yeah, CTF, taking the train's not too bad. I mean, depending on where you are, it might be a long train ride. But if you don't like flying, you come right into Penn Station, right here. Right to Madison Square Garden, where you can see Nosferatu. That immediately dates the asset, right? Yeah, I mean, people hate on the train. But you can get like on like an overnight sleeper train. Why not? It's much more environmentally friendly. If you have the time to take, you'll probably see some parts of the country you never would see otherwise. And given all the problems at airports right now, all the cancellations, all the delays, you don't hear about that about the train. Yeah, I don't know who made that quote, Alistair, but yeah. Very famous New York quote for sure. I know I need to build Times Square at some point, but another place I want to build is Grand Central, because, you know, the stark contrast between how shitty Penn Station looks and how awesome Grand Central is. You just can't compare Penn and Grand Central. Like they may have been comparable pre-1963 or whatever, but they are not now. I haven't rebuilt the Williamsburg Bridge yet, because I did see on Twitter a few weeks ago that somebody's working on an asset for this. So whenever that comes out, hopefully it comes out, hopefully they finish it and they release it publicly. But I could have all 3 of the downtown bridges. And then the 59th Street Bridge is like pretty easy to build in the game. There's a nice like cantilever truss asset that I think looks pretty damn good. Janice, they absolutely did. And the person who actually fought very heavily to have it not torn down was Jackie O. Jacqueline Onassis at the time, formerly Jackie Kennedy, the wife of the late President Kennedy. Yeah, Tortoise, you're 100% right. NJ Transit is like the bastard stepchild of transit in this area. New Jersey Transit were the ones that left all their trains like in a flood zone when Sandy came through and had all their trains destroyed. Whereas the right move would have been like just like run them up the lines and store them on the tracks where they're not going to flood. There has been a little bit of an increase recently in discussions about regional rail in New York. But given the ineptitude of the political class here and getting anything done in a reasonable amount of time on a reasonable budget, I just can't see it happening, especially since you would need new or converted rolling stock, and you would need to install different electrical systems along 2 of the lines. Because what a lot of people don't know is that NJ Transit, Metro North, and the LIRR all run on different electrical systems for most of their runs. Some of them change in certain places, but like one of them runs like third rail at 1 voltage, and one runs catenary at another voltage, and like combining them all would be really, really difficult. But if you could theoretically have trains that go from New Jersey through Penn Station and into Long Island. You could also have, with Penn Station access, have trains that go from like the New England area, from like, you know, Connecticut and upstate New York, from Westchester, you know, going into Penn Station and then through. I mean, there's a million different options and ways you can do it depending on how it gets built. And this is how other countries do their rail, but not in America. We gotta be special. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Dr. Tortoise. Thank you for that. Yeah, I have to take NJ Transit a lot, going to see family and friends, and it sucks. It's like only good if you can get the express train. That's how I feel. Sorry, sounded like somebody dropped something real heavy in my building. Let me give you this view for a minute. Give me 1 sec. I need to get some liquid. I'm not used to talking for like an hour straight. Can anybody hear my my air conditioner in the background? This is the first time that I'm streaming with it on, and I'm hoping that the NVIDIA broadcast cuts most of it out. I had problems with that in the past with it not working in the NVIDIA broadcast, but I fixed that issue. Turns out that if you have a PCI Express 4.0 motherboard, but a PCI Express 3.0 graphics card, which I do, NVIDIA broadcast behaves better if in the BIOS you specify, you set the PCI Express slot, the 16X slot, to a PCI Gen 3 mode and not leaving it automatic. Who knew? Yeah, I could tell earlier that it was getting picked up, but hopefully it's just background noise. Actually, I'm going to turn it off now. I'll keep it off for the rest of the stream, which should be only, we're probably going to do another half hour, 45 minutes here. So please, you know, if you have those questions, hit them in there. But, oh, this is actually better for me now, too. I feel like I'm not screaming over the air conditioner. Can I see Billionaires Row? Yes, you can. We'll talk about the inner borough in a second. That's a good topic, good content. Yeah, there's Billionaires Row. And a fair amount of the area built around it. There's a lot of good assets here from the workshop. So you have the Hampshire House, the Plaza Hotel. You have, forgetting the exact name of this building. It's got a name and an address. But there's not only the billionaire buildings around here, but even just some of these older, you know, this area of Manhattan used to just all be like buildings around this size. Like these are still like skyscrapers, you know, but they look tiny compared to something like 432 Park, which I was basically staring at last night. I was on someone's rooftop last night, and I was just staring at that building, which I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on 432 Park? Because like I don't hate it. Especially at night. I think like, with the cutouts, it looks really cool. Am I going to build one Vanderbilt? Is there an asset for it? If there is, yes. If there isn't, no, I guess is the answer. There is. Yeah, so I will definitely build this when I build out Grand Central. So this building goes like... I'm going to get the exact placement wrong, but it goes in this block here. I don't know which way it faces. I'll have to look at it, but I think it's like that. Super cool building. Maybe not the most like creative or like distinct looking, but it is massive. Like it is, you know, it takes up that whole block, so it really feels hefty. Whereas these buildings up here feel really skinny. I mean, they are really skinny, but still comparatively. Oh, how does the city look at night? Yeah, you asked that before. You know, I never actually set my day-night cycle, and I'm not even sure I know how to do it. Like, I'm sure I can figure it out, but I know I have to enable it in the settings somewhere. Does anybody know exactly what setting that is? I think it's in here. Oh yeah, use day-night cycle. Okay, so let me reset. Oh, nah, it doesn't look good. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, here we go. Nice. Oh, I guess this. I'd have to change the skybox too to do this, but yeah, the buildings look pretty cool though at night. Oh, here we go. I had to unpause it. Alright, not gonna lie, this looks really cool. Thanks for the suggestion. Really appreciate that. Oh yeah, the bridge looks great with the cars going over it. Wait, let me do this. Moon in the sky? The moon would not be in the western sky in New York, but that's okay. Oh, actually, you can even... Is this... I didn't realize that the skybox moves. Like, the stars are actually moving. And, like, you can, like, see them setting behind the horizon. That's really cool. All right, awesome. Let's get back into Let's get back into daylight mode. I think I just gotta turn that off. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Do I think they should tear down the George Washington Bridge? No. No, no, no. So the George Washington Bridge, first of all, is the most heavily traveled bridge in the world. So tearing that down would, like... It would... I mean... There's certainly problems with that bridge and the fact that it connects to the Cross Bronx and creates a lot of truck traffic that residents of that neighborhood have to deal with. But... I mean, those trucks have to go somewhere. Ideally, you'd replace a lot of it with rail, but in like the short term, if you shut down that bridge, it would be bedlam for traffic. They'd all have to take the Tappan Zee Bridge, I guess. No, I'm not calling it the Cuomo Bridge. Miss me on that. Oh, it's funny. I didn't even see that you said that. Yeah, I don't call it the Cuomo Bridge. I will always call it the Tappan Zee Bridge. It will always be the Tappan Zee Bridge for me. For those of you who don't know, the Tappan Zee Bridge is so the George Washington Bridge is like the very tip of Manhattan, like up here, and then the Tappan Zee Bridge, which has been rebuilt recently, is officially the Mario Cuomo Bridge, named after disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo's father. That connects Rockland County to Westchester, north of the city. It's the next It's the next river crossing north of the George Washington Bridge. All right. Should we build something? Do you guys want to look at some other stuff? I'm open for some suggestions here. Definitely, I feel like every episode we try to build a lot and we end up building like 3 blocks when we do a live stream. So we did 1 block today, which I think looks really nice. The key when building these blocks up here, well, one, like all the blocks that interact with Broadway are really important because getting those angles decent makes a lot of makes it really look good, but getting this variation in height, that's New York. Like so many other cities have like pretty much normal height buildings and 1 or 2 that might be taller, but New York, it's like you're up and down, you're up and down, you're all over the place, and that's what really gives it that cool look. Yeah, you want to ride the subway? I'm going to build a canal in Gowanus. So the Gowanus Canal is this right here. The Gowanus Canal is like a filthy, polluted waterway and a major Superfund site. So in honor of that, I have all of my my sewage and recycling kind of like hacked in down here. A lot of this will eventually get moved, but for now it's just for functionality. I'm not sure how far down south I'll get. I really want to build probably to Atlantic Avenue, which is here. I've actually wanted to build a little bit of this already and work on the subway more quickly, but I'm kind of like hesitant to size out a new overlay, like move on from this overlay to one that includes this and then have to eventually go back to this one. I probably have built enough where I could get it exactly the same again, but I don't want to put the effort in. The bridge that goes over the island, so you're talking about maybe about Roosevelt Island, which is the 59th Street Bridge. Yeah, this will definitely get built at some point. I don't know if I can remember right now, or if I could find it. There's like a really good prop that I use for... I'm not gonna be able to find it right now. I'm forgetting... It's called Trust, so it's not this one, you know. Maybe I'll find a place to use this somewhere, but oh, here it is. Yeah, this is it. What is this called? Commodore Barry. This is a bridge in Philly, but the size of it really works well for this bridge. So using its pylons and then, you know, building the bridge over it. I've done this before in the game, and it works really, really nicely, so... There's like just enough room here to squeeze 2 roadways over it. And now, with PO and with node controller, I'll probably be able to make this even nicer if I want to, but I'll leave that there for now as a reminder. Yeah, do the Intrepid. I actually think I had the Intrepid in the last build, but if I get to that eventually, if I get to that area, I'll do it, because I would like to... But that's a whole other asset I gotta download, so... somebody asked before about like building more piers and like filling in the coastlines. So for right now, the coastline is built out from the end of Battery Park City all the way around Manhattan, all the way up to where we've built at Waterside Plaza. This is about 30th Street here. I can't build the rest of this out here yet because the FDR like north of here is really complicated. And I just haven't gotten around to this area. I'll probably do this as part of a UN building, because the UN's right around here. So I'll do that at some point for sure. I want to get to Times Square and Grand Central first before I do the waterfront around here. And then I did start building out a little bit of the waterfront in Williamsburg, but I don't really have the right buildings for this area yet, so I haven't built it. And I will probably be filling out a lot of this. And what I've been doing is using the camera positions mod to use this particular area, and I'm taking a bunch of sequential screenshots, and I'm going to show you the progress like over time of building this out as it kind of grows bigger and bigger. So Not a crazy technique. A lot of other people utilize it, but not something that I've done. It's something that I should be doing more of. I also have one saved here from like the first episode that I did. So this is like the initial build. This is what I initially worked on in episode 1, and then obviously I have been adding on to it. But now that I'm using PO more, I do need to go back in here and like fill in more. I do kind of go back and fill in a block or two here or there, which is why you'll be familiar with it, but oh, come on. I don't want to fill in too much around here before I get the subway built, because I'll need room for some stations. And I can put stations underneath buildings, but I try to avoid that if I don't have to. IKEA? I could do IKEA, because the IKEA is like down here somewhere. But yeah, I'm not sure how far I'll get into Brooklyn. I think I might just get to down again to Atlantic Avenue, so that'd be right around here. Maybe a few blocks south, I'll build like the G down to like Bergen Street or Church, not Church, maybe down to like Bergen Street, so I can run the F and the G up that way. The G train is the train that if you visited Manhattan, you maybe never took, because it only runs from Brooklyn to Queens. It doesn't go to Manhattan. I could do the port. I'm probably going to do like none of Jersey though. We did a little bit of, I haven't never really finished this, but we did the Statue of Liberty. Which does function. It's a nice view, right? It almost looks like it's finished. Yeah, so I don't know. I probably won't do any of Jersey. I am tempted to at least maybe build a little bit just to build the path, because I think like the path's an integral part of Manhattan as well. But I don't know. I kind of want to save my nodes for like, I want to build Queens up to the bridge, out to like Sunnyside, Woodside, maybe to like where the highway is, because I would eventually like to connect the highway up and around and up through here. One thing that I've been doing a lot of work on off camera is the BQE. So the BQE now connects, so it doesn't connect from down here yet, but the connection from the Williamsburg Bridge has been built. And that lets this part of the BQE connect to McGinnis Boulevard and into Queens and into the Long Island Expressway. My next section I need to build is from here to here, which a lot of this is like sunken and underground, which is why I haven't done it yet. And then this section from here to here interacting with the Manhattan Bridge. So I need to build out the rest of the Manhattan Bridge first, like build the rest of the lanes over it, build the pedestrian, the bike, the train, and then I'll eventually will get all this built, because it's a lot. It's a lot of road connections here. It's a little complicated. And like I said, I think I'd rather build down here first, like just extend these main roads out and then do a big subway episode. So if we're thinking about episode future, Williamsburg will probably be next. Billionaires Row could come in any time whenever I decide to get off my butt and write some scripts. And then probably a big subway episode. Times Square will be like on the short list for pretty quickly, happening pretty much soon. How far north can I go? Not going to be going any further north than like here. I might build some of the infrastructure out here on Randall's Island, but no airport, not the entire park. The focus has always been, if you were to draw a circle, like here, it's like downtown Manhattan, midtown Manhattan, southwest Queens, and northern Brooklyn. Like that's the build, for the most part. Oh. Yeah, no way I could build the path today. That'd be a bit of work. And we're finishing up here in probably about 20 minutes. So, how about I do like, maybe I could build some more subway though. I would kind of like to like give you guys another little subway line here. Not one that's gonna interfere with the big episode though, but let me think. You know what? Let me hack in the G. I won't build the whole G, but let's hack in some of the G, because we were talking about that before. And this will be the last thing we do today. So please keep asking questions, though. I'm happy to bounce around while we're working on this. Okay, so this is the J and the M train and the Z train as well. This is Marcy Avenue. This is Hughes Street, and then I have it hacked in, but it's kind of annoying. So the next station is right down here somewhere. Is Lorimer Street. Lorimer Street on the JZ, not on the G, or the L rather. But the Broadway line is basically right here. So so it has to be, it's going to be like right here. So let me build a little bit of that road just so there's a road connection. And this is a two-way street with, pause the simulation, we're going to go two-way street with a bike lane on it, which I could do this one right here. Oh, come on. Okay, that looks pretty good for now. Doesn't gotta be perfect right this second. Where are the entrances and exits? Okay, so let's put in the G train as a New York City subway station. This one right here. It's going to be, let me see, I think this is a side platform station. I'm always looking up on Wikipedia to make sure. So yeah, this is double side platform, 2 tracks. That's an easy one. And then if I rotate this 90 degrees, or no, I do a full 180, I think. Yeah, like that. Okay, so that train is in. I don't know why that's popping up now. That's a little bit much for me. And then let's build some old-fashioned train tracks. So, ooh, that is like really close to that hack in there. Okay, let me fix this. So this is not permanent. This is just like a straight up hacked in connection here for the L train, which I'll just do that. I hate when I do that. Like the default road mode is, you know, the down arrow, and I do that so often it's not even funny. Okay, and then I'll do just another one. I'll just branch this off. Perfect. And then this can go to here. Great, and now I can run the G line. Let's start from there. Let's go one stop there. Now again, I'm not sure if these metro stations are gonna work. I will delete and fix them if they don't work. Might not be today, but you know, I'll fix it in the future. Not really a big deal. And then I don't have it built into Queens yet because I don't have that complex built yet, but let's at least get Brooklyn some trains. Alright, so MCA hex codes. Always using the exact colors. I think it's really important. So this train's going to be 6 CBE 45. That nice lime green. Metropolitan, this is the Metropolitan Depot, is fine. And then, so the G train is a BMT. I'm gonna put R46s on it. It does run older trains. I don't know if, I think maybe it runs R60s though, but that's not on the workshop. I'm looking that up real quick. If anybody knows without, you know, thinking about it. Sorry, that's not R. What am I thinking of? There's no R60. What rolling stock is this used? Tell me, Wikipedia, tell me. Why is it not? Oh, it's alright. It uses R160s. That's fine. I have those. So let's run R160s. Let me just put like 4 vehicles in the line for now, and then yeah, let's hit go. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, R68s, yeah. But you're right, they do run the R160s now. I'm so excited because, you know, the 211s are coming soon, and because, like, I take the Q train a lot from the Upper East Side, and, like, it's on the really old R46s, which, like, those are the next trains to get phased out. That's the Metro Overhaul mod. So, yeah, if you like running Metro trains, that is the mod for you. It's a much better game with the Metro Overhaul mod. The downside is you do need to build the depots and like get them connected properly, and it can be a little finicky, but it's worth it. So this G train is fun actually. So what the G train does is, and we won't build more of it today, but it actually runs down Marcy Ave here. It kind of runs at an angle and then goes straight down here, and then eventually curves around. I think it's just cut off because it basically runs down like this avenue here. And then it connects with the AC at Hoyt-Schermerhorn, just 1 block north of Atlantic right here, and then curves down into Gowanus and around this way. The G train eventually serves Smith and 9th Street, which is the tallest metro station in the world. It's the highest elevate, like the highest above ground level metro station on the planet. It's like 100 feet in the air. It's ridiculous. It doesn't like, it's so dumb. It looks so dumb, but it's like, I don't know. The New York City subway system is like a mishmash of so much. Yeah, thanks, Michelle. I love the subway. It's like, I'm a huge subway nerd. I obviously don't know everything all the time. I'll screw up here or there, but and then somebody I think asked for like a subway ride. So let's do, give me 1 second here. Let me queue this up. No, can I do this? No, I don't want to be, I don't hate when it does that. Can I get, all right. I know sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, but this will still look cool. Probably need to slow the speed of the trains down. That train just went like full speed going into Marcy Avenue. This, and I can't wait for this asset to get released because this is obviously like super hacked in. It worked, it's functional, but everyone on the train just died. Where would I suggest to learn more about New York City subway development history? So read Wikipedia articles, kind of familiarize yourself that way. Go take a look at Van Schukenragen's maps, his full track maps. I use those and reference those for making my videos. I think those are really helpful. And then YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of cool creators out there. I really like recently watching Mystic Transit. Has a lot of cool videos, like short videos about different things about the New York City subway. I would avoid the more clickbaity kind of episodes, kind of places like, you know, like Cheddar and things like that. I mean, they're not bad. They're not necessarily not factual, but they're a little clickbaity. This looks so cool. I'm really happy with this. Except that on these double tracks, you know, the third rail should be on the interior of the double tracks, not on the X. Like, that looks a little messed up, but you know, these render tunnels I've always found really cool. Yeah, I'll spell that. Give me a second. Let me type it in the chat. I might not be even spelling that right. I'm gonna put the link to the map in chat. Give me 1 second. Yeah. This is a direct link to the PDF, so. It's a very detailed track map, not only of what currently exists in New York, but also what is like. It shows you what tracks are in or not in revenue service. It shows you provisions for future parts of the subway that were never built or never finished being built. It shows you connections to some of the rail transit in the area. It's really interesting. And it's like, open it up in Acrobat and like, you know, zoom in and out and like really play around with it. It's awesome. I love that map. Absolutely love that map. Let's do a 10-minute warning here on stream. I only have about 10 minutes of voice left, I think, so. Not that I lose my voice, like I don't ever properly lose my voice, but it's getting a little ragged. I feel like I'm mumbling more than I need to be. And it's starting to get hot in my apartment. I can feel the schwitz building. I really want to build East River Park at some point soon too, but maybe I'll do the new Williamsburg Bridge and East River Park at the same time when that asset eventually comes to be. But I do love all the subways going over. And I really need to like, I should have maybe done this before the stream, but I should have like at least built one of the trains over the Manhattan Bridge. That would have been really cool. But I think that really has to be part of like my big subway project, that big episode for sure. And I'm definitely, like I said, Williamsburg's probably the next episode, but let me know in chat, where would you like to see built out next? So once all this is built, I do want to go back to Manhattan for the next, like, build, and I'm thinking Times Square. But maybe you want to see something else. Let me know. This is also the part of the video where I ask you, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that button. I'm sure most of you are, but for those of you who are new, check it out. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, which will be a nice little milestone there. But really, that's on me that we're not over it yet, because if I put out more videos, I'd be there already. But life is crazy right now. I've been having a really nice summer. What's everybody doing for the 4th? For those of you who are American, I know not all of you are, but if you are an American and you're doing some of the 4th, let me know your plans. Are you barbecuing? Are you seeing fireworks? Are you setting off fireworks? How many fingers do you plan to have by the end of Monday night? Nobody be going Jason Pierre-Paul on me, okay? One thing I've noticed a lot in Williamsburg too is like people have been like, oh, the whole map's flat. Like, this whole map is not flat. Like, I know New York's a very flat area, but like Williamsburg, for instance, is fairly hilly. Williamsburg's a neighborhood that, like, despite being really close to the water, like, won't flood during climate change. Like, the far coast will, but big chunks of it, particularly in like this area right here, is on a little bit of a hill. I wonder if anyone's waiting for the G train yet. Probably not. I don't feel like it really goes anywhere that that is built out yet. Oh, there's one person waiting for the G train. Look at that. Let's go check this weirdo out. What are you doing down here, man? Where are you going? I don't even know. He doesn't even know where he's going. Alright guys, I think chat has died down. All of your questions today have been awesome. I love doing these casual streams and getting to show you whatever you want to see in the city, because I think you're going to see the channel go towards more shorter, historical, educational videos. But I'm still here for the City Skylines content, and I know you are too, so I will try to stream more. I know I've been doing about once a month, but I'm considering maybe like once a month, like a big stream like this where I announce it in advance, and then maybe some other streams where I don't list it after it's done, but we chill for an hour or two if I got some time on a Wednesday night or whatever. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you all for being here to experience this, to join in, to be a nice community, and you know what is a great game for all of us to play. So thank you all once again. We'll see you next time. Later.